Hello, everyone. Happy Easter. And if you are watching this now, you're not mistaken. We're 1 hour earlier tonight because we have a family thing going on afterwards. If you are watching this on our regular time, then welcome. So it might be a pre-recorded, but feel free to give comments, and we're gonna react to those after. Welcome, happy Sunday. I'm Angel Qinan. I'm a registered nurse and I'm an actress, and you're watching Transistors TV. Ally?
Hi everyone, my name is AllyCat Castle, and as you all know, we're all proud transgender women of color or women of trans experience here on Transistors TV. We're all Filipino Americans, and yes, and we are here basically to celebrate Easter. Happy Easter to everyone. And of course, tonight we're going to be talking about new beginnings. And back to you, Angel.
Yes, new beginnings. I think it's very timely for Easter to kind of like talk about new beginnings, and we have this. I'm sure you guys have had new beginnings also in your lives, in your relationships, of work, and everything else. So we would love to hear your input. The live chat is already on, so please feel free to say hi and let us know that you're here. And why don't we introduce our special co-host tonight, speaking of new beginnings, Miss Kim Chan.
Hi, I'm Kim Chan. Proud to be trans.
Happy Easter, Sis Kim.
Happy Easter, Sis Kim. Okay, she's still shy, so she's warming up.
She's warming up.
Our regular co-host, Miss Faelnar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here an hour early if you are. Thank you for watching Transistors TV. My name is Faelnar. I'm one half of Miss Charlie Talks. I'm an actor and a model. And welcome, Kim, one of the original charoteras of Charot Room. And hi, Ate Sonia.
Yes.
And speaking of Ate Sonia, Miss Sonia, the only one. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Mabuhay, welcome to the Philippines and welcome to Transistor TV Yokozo in Japan and everybody. And I'm Sonia, the only one. I'm a fashion stylist and I work in events. And mabuhay and welcome to Transistor TV.
Mabuhay.
Perfect. So since everyone has introduced themselves, so let's begin, Angel, with our topic for this evening, which is new beginnings and the importance of new beginnings. So if I could start the meaning of beginnings, according to Merriam-Webster, beginnings means the point at which something begins. So what is your take on the meaning of new beginnings according to Merriam-Webster? Yes.
It's weird that they use the exact same word on the the definition, but it makes sense. So it makes sense that it's the point of something begins. It's the new beginnings.
Yes, for me, it's like a reboot, a restart, or if I could paraphrase that, I mean, it's a starting point of when things can launch and, like a fresh way to see a new horizon. There you go. How about you, Miss Kim? What do you think?
Well, yes. So, in addition to that, it's because it's a fresh start. So it's always something new, something exciting, something scary. Because not just the new beginning, but like they say, like whenever there is an ending, it's also a new beginning.
Oh, I love that. When it ends, it starts. Okay, Miss Lee.
I always find the name Merriam-Webster so amusing. Just side note. But but anyways, for me, it's secular. Everything is a cycle, and we welcome new cycles, and then things sometimes go to an end, not necessarily end chapter for you and the start of another chapter maybe of something else, but it's just like a book. They're chapters of your life.
Oh, I love that, chapters. Yes. And of course, Ate Sonia, what is your take on new beginnings?
New beginnings, well, life is like a wheel. Sometimes it just turns around, and sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So when you're down, it goes up and new beginning starts. And as you say, it's like a car. You just start, and go, go, go.
There you go. And again, to everyone right on our live chat, hello to Kuya Ram, exactly
Hi,
from
Quick
New York
Ram.
City.
Hi,
Hello
Jared.
to Jared from Bogota, New Jersey. And to everyone, thanks again for being here. So again, please let us know as well what your take is on new beginnings as we read your comments right on the live chat. And so my first question is, do you think new beginnings are easy? For me, it actually depends. It's not always easy, especially I think when you've failed at something. Because I feel like um, it's you being humble of accepting the fact that you had certain challenges and but at the same time, it also takes a lot of good character of you knowing your mistakes, but realizing that you've learned from them and having another chance to reboot yourself. And that can actually what makes a person beautiful. It may not be easy, but it's always beautiful, and it actually makes a person's character stronger. So that's basically my take on that question, if new beginnings are easy. Angel, Kim, Lee.
Well, for me, as you said, it kind of depends on where you're coming from or where you're gonna start the new beginning. But I try to, because I'm always kind of like positive. so every time there's an opportunity that there's a new beginning, I try to take it as a challenge. I try to take it as an opportunity to grow. So I think when you start recognizing that you're beginning something, that's when it becomes easy, because then I start accepting it, that I have to start this new beginning, and I'm ready to accept the challenge, and I'm ready to do it. So it may be hard in a sense of like you're relearning new things, or maybe not realizing that you're actually on a new beginning now, and you should just like accept it and do it.
Oh, yes, Angel.
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Kim, I can see some smiles in there. What's your take?
Well, on in addition to what this Angel was saying, because there's always a fear when there's a new beginning, because we fear something that we don't know, and also perfection is also what's keeping us for a new beginning, because sometimes we try to be so prepared to make it perfect in order to start the new. Once we try to jump onto that fear and try to conquer it, overcome it, and then once we overpass it, you can tell to yourself like, oh, it's not as bad as it is. Like, I can do this. So and it's always a new exciting something that something to look forward to. Trying to be comfortable in a situation that uncomfortable in a situation that
Unfamiliar.
uncomfortable.
Oh, I
Wow.
love that.
Very A-type.
Yes, she said something exciting and something new. And Miss Lee, how about you? Angel said something about being positive, and also Miss Kim said something about exciting. How about you, Miss Lee?
I mean, again, like, it's funny that somebody said like the universal answer is it depends, because it really does depend on not only on the thing that you're going to undertake, but also on your mindset, like your current perspective of your life right now. If you always think of everything coming from a place of gratitude, regardless if it might be like a negative circumstance in your life, then things are just going to fall into place, because like what Angel said, there is acceptance, that it's happening. But will that be easy all the time? It just really depends on where you are emotionally, spiritually, mentally, when you start undertaking something that is unknown.
I love it. The unknown. Yes, just like what Miss Kim said
Gratitude.
as well. Okay, how about Miss Sonia, the only one?
Kinakabahan siya.
Well, as I've said, the moment you wake up in the morning, it's a new beginning. And when you wake up in the morning, it's a new beginning. You don't know what will happen. So that's what I take in that question. When you wake up, it's a new every day. When you wake up, it's a new beginning. You don't know. It's like a it's like a box of chocolate. You don't know what will you pick and what you will eat. So that's it. That's my take
So
on
does it
new
make it easy
beginnings.
or hard to know that you don't know what you're gonna get for the day?
Yes. Yes. It can, it's, as I've said, it can be easy, it can be hard, it can be exciting, it can be sad. You'll never know. But every day is a new beginning.
Yeah, and I
be
believe in that every
thankful.
day is a new beginning. So just like what Sonia said, every day is a new beginning. And of
Yes.
course, so many things are connected to new beginnings.
Yes.
I actually would like to read what Jared said. He actually said life in plastic, the universal answer, it depends, right? As I and Angel actually have answered as well. And Jared also said life in plastic. Yes, a new beginning is an opportunity. So do you believe that new beginnings are an opportunity? Well, for me, I believe that new beginnings are an opportunity. It's a great way to launch something new. It's a great way to start something new. And there's always this freshness in anything that you're tapping into, something different. And that's the good thing about newness. It's like a gift. It's like you don't know what you can expect out of it. So that's basically how I would answer Jared's statement that new beginning is an opportunity.
And then they asked, is 8 p.m. going to be your new time slot?
I already answered that. I said no.
So no, not yet. Tonight is just a special. But if you're curious, then you can comment and and like and give suggestions. And then Earthly Dressings is also here. Speaking about new beginnings, like new business, that's another new beginnings and very hardworking. And Kuya Ram said, yes, I agree with Ate Sonia. Every day is a new beginning. We're caught
So how
up with
about
the
again to
comments.
continue?
So please.
So yes, thank you for reading the comments, Angel. So again, how about that statement of Jared that new beginning is an opportunity? So I've answered that. Who would like to answer next?
I think I agree with that. If you look in a positive way that that you get the chance to have new beginnings, it's always an opportunity to kind of like to reinvent yourself, to grow as a person and to challenge yourself. So I think it's an opportunity that we should take every time we get those new beginnings.
Yes, thank you, Angel. An opportunity, yes, that we can get. Okay, Miss Lee, Miss Kim, Miss Ate Sonia, who wants to go first?
They're all on mute. What's going on here?
I know they're all on mute. Lee,
I don't know how that
okay.
happened. I don't know how that happened.
So who wants to answer next?
Opportunity, of course. New beginnings, out with the old, in with the new, begin life, begin every little step of your life. Opportunity knocks on your door, grab it, and it means you are beginning a new phase in your life. So yes, why would you say new beginnings is not an opportunity? It's life. Life is an opportunity. And thank you.
Very deep. Okay, life is an opportunity. Yes, thank you for that, Ate Sonia. And Miss Kim, how about for you?
I want to add to that question, what are the example of a new opportunity that you've had or new beginning that you've had lately?
Who are you asking that question to?
It's whoever's going to answer next. So I guess next.
Kim, are you ready?
Please, sis, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, like for me, like actually that question is kind of made me think. Like that movie Groundhog Day, where you start your day over and over and over and over again, and you just like don't know when it's gonna end, and you kind of want to make it end so that you can move on with your life. Like, so like I'm thinking like it's not only a new opportunity or an opportunity, it's also a way for you to figure out what lessons you've learned from the past so that you can apply it to make your future like something where I always say this, where you can actually leave a lesson and legacy for future generations. So like that's how I see what a new beginning is. Just learning from things that happened to you in the past and growing from it.
Yes, I love that. You know, learning from your past and taking the lessons with it. And Miss Kim, yes?
Yeah. Yes, and also for new beginnings, it will also teach you to push yourself, like to test your limits, like how far can you go to this new beginning? Because when you're starting something new, like you you kind of like realize your potential to, and also your potential to more growth, like what other sis Lee says, and also pushing your limits on how far can you push it, and how far what other things can you do in life, because like new beginnings is like a new experiment. So just trying not to be afraid of not making mistakes, because like what everyone says, like it's part of the lesson that you learn, and and trying how do you make it better for the next chapter.
I love that. Knowing for the next chapter. Speaking of next chapter, so I want to ask then, is it more beneficial for you to know what you want, or really not knowing what you want in order for you to know when you're going to start next, on where you're going to begin next? Well, for me, if you ask me if I could answer that question, I would say I like it more when I actually have a plan, just so I have a feeling that I have a roadmap of where I need to go. And if my plan doesn't happen the way I want it to be, then that's also an added learning for me, because I feel like I've done my homework, but at the same time, because I cannot control my environment, then what I cannot control is an added bonus of my learnings, of my experience. And so for me, it's more beneficial if I can actually always, some way, somehow prepare myself in every new endeavor, in every new beginning that comes my way.
I think it should be a combination of planning and being open to what fate will give you. Like for example, when I lost my job, I was open to who's gonna take me, because I tried to apply on different specialties. Like I have a background in computer science. I actually tried nursing, informatics, and going to case management and back to the specialty of chemical dependence, and then kind of like knowing and kind of like seeing where I would gravitate more towards. So I think it should be it's nice to have a goal, and it's nice to have like kind of a roadmap or on where you want things to go. For example, in career, relationship, or everything. But as what you said, sometimes if it doesn't go that way because there's something out there that's open for you, and I think being open in receiving those gifts is important as well. So I think it's a combination of being open and kind of planning your life. Yeah, that's my take on that in terms of
I love that. Exactly. Like combination, right? It's
yeah.
I love that what you said, Angel, like having a plan at the same time, like just knowing the possibilities, and being open-minded and just really trusting what's going to come your way. Oh, thank you for that, Angel. So who's next?
One of the things that I thought was like super funny that I heard before, listening sometimes to Christian radio back in the day when I was like super into that, was like, how do you make God laugh? And the answer to it is tell them your plans.
I love that.
So basically,
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
so basically, um, to answer that question, I feel that it would be lovely to know what you want, but also I also think that that little small still voice that kind of persuades you to do what is right, what is just, what is good. That's probably like your key factor when you start something, or like when you just like do stuff, like like throughout your day. Like that's, if you're in tune with that voice, then I feel like regardless whether you have a plan or not, things are going to happen the way it's supposed to happen because you're listening to your intuition, your higher power, or whatever.
So it sounds like there's
Oh,
a bigger plan, the big scheme of things.
Yeah, regardless of what happens to you, right? Like if it's like a bad outcome or a good outcome, like you'll never know like what people you've touched throughout the way and stuff like that. As long as you listen to that like small still voice that's like kind of like pushing you towards where you're supposed to be and what your purpose of your life is.
so I want to ask Lee, I really love what you said about knowing what's right, what's just, and what's good, and listening to your voice. When can a person know when to listen to their voice? Or how can they listen to their voice? In what kind of example can you give us?
For me, it's, have you ever like, okay, like let me just like ask a question for that question. Have you ever experienced a time when you woke up and you just feel helpless, or you don't want to do anything anymore, or you're just tired? And
Mhm.
like sometimes those are the, or like something happened that you weren't expecting. Like those are the times sometimes where you just have to pause and say thank you and just listen and ask, what am I supposed to do with all of this that I'm feeling right now? Like I'm super overwhelmed, I don't know how to handle things. And then if you're patient, because it doesn't, the answers normally don't come right away, but if you're patient and if it feels like whatever you're doing kind of makes your feelings happier, gives you a little bit of joy, then you might be on the right path. If like, but then like sometimes that you'll have like that little thing that says like, it feels wrong, but you still do it, then you're not going to be able to sleep well at night. You know what I
Is
mean?
that is that correlated to intuition?
Could be, yeah.
It could
Could
be.
definitely be.
And it sounds
Oh,
like a
thank
gut feeling also,
Yeah.
yeah.
like what it says in your core, what
Ate
it says in your
Sonia,
heart, what it says in your DNA.
Ate
Yes, Miss
Sonia has something
Kim.
to say, but you're on mute, so make sure you unmute Ate Sonia.
Ate Sonia, yes.
Or maybe you're just
Beginnings,
getting
new
ready to
begin,
unmute. Ready to
new
Miss
unmute.
beginnings.
Kim, was there
Yes,
some?
new
Okay,
beginnings in
yes.
unmute. Yes, yes, follow your gut. Follow your gut. And when of course the moment you were born, people have planned for you and you plan for your life. But of course, along the way, things will happen. And you always have a little list also of what you want to do. And of course, surprising things will happen in your life. And as I said, it's a new beginning, di ba? Especially in life. So the moment you, as I've said, di ba sabi nga, follow your gut, you plan things for your life. You'll never know what will happen. And as Missy said, you with the moment you pray for you tell God what your plans are. God already knows what you are praying for, and he will
Aw.
know what he will give you. It may not be right now, it will not be in this moment, but one day you will just wake up and, oh, I have an answered prayer for a new beginning.
Aw, that's so
I
sweet.
love that. Yes. Okay, Miss Kim, how can you follow through with what Miss Sonia said?
Oh my god.
Planning
Oh,
or not planning or
like, for me, I feel like it's good to have a goal. It's good to have a plan, um, but also at the same time being open to it. Because like our lives when we were maybe 15 won't be the same when you're 25, or when your life when you're 25 won't be the same as when you're 35. So it just it just changes, and there's always like a new beginning. Like when you go into school, like once you're done with your grade, being in a grade school, a new chapter comes up as a high school student. So it's that's a different life when you're after 4 years. But anyways, choosing what you're inspired to do most. Like when for me, because I like to have a plan and I like to know like what skills am I doing that I'm really most inspired of. Like, like for example, like you say, Angel, you're a nurse. Do you, like, when you're doing when you're working as a nurse, like it inspires you. You do things like you do like amazing things to people, like helping them heal. And also, but then when you're acting, it feeds your creativity. Like you become more inspired in being creative. So to me, like I like to have like, do I do I like painting, or do I like writing, or do I like doing medical stuff, those kind of things, that what really inspires me. And then I pick one, I commit to it, and then I take action. And being not afraid to make a mistake. Like if this fails, okay, what's next on my inspiring list of things that I wanted to do in life? So having a plan, having a goal, and also being open to it.
So it sounds like you have many, many plans, and then kind of what's inspired right now, you pick that plan. And I think talking about school, since you mentioned school, Jared said like every semester is a new beginning for him. So that will happen with me soon if I go back to my master's. And that's part of the planning. I have to plan that. But thank you for that comment. And good morning, Edward. Hello.
Hi, Edward. Kumusta? Yes, again, we're talking about new beginnings. By the way, to everyone, if you're enjoying our conversation, please support our podcast today by pressing the thumbs up. Yes. Because it's all about new beginnings. And thank you so much for supporting us. And yes. So
And
I
for
also
being
love...
here this early in the morning. If you're just coming in, we really started an hour earlier tonight. So I'm glad that you guys were able to join. Thanks.
Right. I also love what Miss Kim said in terms of, giving an example of you, Angel, being a nurse and an actress, and at the same time being synonymous of how important passion is with your plan when it comes to um, uh, new beginnings. It's like I think it also boils down to your attitude or your take on undertaking a new beginning. Because I believe that what you feel inside and what you put in your head, what you put in your heart, can greatly affect um, um, what you're about to do or your actions that you're going to take in your new beginning. So for me, that's very important, like having a passion and having the right energy. Because sometimes if we start things negatively, then right there, without the confidence or without knowing that you can do it, it's almost like saying that it's not even worth taking the risk. And for me, that's the good thing about new beginnings is, the joy of taking risks, the joy of the unknown, the fear of the unknown, because it's only when we get to realize the possibilities when we don't really know what we don't know.
Yeah.
So, okay. So now I want to ask, what makes people afraid of new beginnings?
Me personally, sometimes it's the insecurity sometimes, so like, for example, when I got reassigned to a different department, I know that I don't know a lot of things that goes on with that. So I was fearful initially that, oh my God, like people, it was the ICU. So I was a case manager, and then I was assigned to the ICU, and I'm like, oh my god, people who work in the ICU, I have high regards for. They know their things, their work. They're very detail oriented. Usually in nursing school, the people who go to the ICU are the ones who are like straight A's in class and everything. So I was very fearful actually of like being in that department. But I did turn that fear into kind of accepting that, okay, I'm weak here, so I need to educate myself. So I actually started asking questions to the things that I don't know and research on my own outside as well. But I think that's one example of why some people are fearful about new beginnings, is because you're not familiar with it and you might be insecure with that you don't know. But it's okay. Everybody has to start on a new beginning. And if you accept that, then it will be a little bit easier.
But that's what's great about what you did, Angel, was or accepted the fact that in a way insecurities, in a way could help. But at the same time, you turned your insecurity into educating yourself. And through educating yourself, you were able to do your homework in order for you to be familiar with something that you were unfamiliar with.
Correct.
So just like what Miss Salmon is my caller said, the uncertainty. So even if you were uncertain with your new job or with your new task, that did not stop you from learning what you need to learn in order for you to be an effective at your new task. So how about Miss Lee, Miss Kim, or Ate Sonia? Do you have any other examples as well that you can give us? Just like what Angel did with her job as a nurse, from being a case manager to being transferred to the ICU. Like, for example, if I could see an example. One example for me was, for the rest of my life, for more than 10 years, I actually worked for retail as a makeup artist. I worked in like several department stores, but and I thought that was my end all be all. I never realized that one day, this is also what I like about new beginnings. Again, I would like to quote this from my mom. She keeps on saying, if it's for you, it will find you. Like, we can plan things, but regardless of what our plan is, if God's divine plan is not, at the end, his ultimate plan is what's going to happen, not really our plans. Because he's the only one who knows us before we can even think of the things we want in our lives. But if it's for you, it will find you, even if you don't look for it. And for me, that moment of realization that I just did the best that I can, being a makeup artist in retail, I was very happy with that. And then suddenly this person discovered me. I didn't realize that there was like another new beginning for me. Another new beginning of opening the doors of me doing makeup for people I never expected I could do makeup for. But at the same time, I will learn from. And me being an immigrant to this country and English as my second language, and me being not comfortable with it, I'm just so happy that I'm given a chance. And my English barrier, or my way of speaking in English, was not a barrier for me to be able to be given an opportunity. And that's the reason why, going back to what Miss Kim said, having a passion, knowing your talents, it helps. So again, so now, Ate Sonia, Miss Kim, or Miss Lee, have you thought of like an example?
The best example is I work and live in Japan. So when I go back every now and then, I always have this mindset that every new contract I have is a new beginning. I will never know who I will work with, what will happen in this new venture of contract I have. So you always think not always of the best, but what will be the things that will happen in that contract of work of mine. So I take the greatness of me and to make myself work hard, and the weakness that I have, because I don't know who I will meet and work and collab with those people. So I always take that weakness to be my power. and show them that I will be a great co-worker and you will love my being a co-worker to the people.
Okay, so
And
as
I
I
apply
understand,
that
Ate Son,
up to now. And I
so
apply
as
that now.
so as I understand, Ate Sonia, what I like about that is that you almost like surrender to the world, knowing your weakness. But since you know who you are, what your core is, because um you have you have a strong character in the sense that you know yourself really well, then you're not afraid for what people have to say or the way they treat you because you know what you can give them. And in return,
Yes.
um, you trust them of like having that relationship, because at the
Yes.
end of the day, it doesn't matter what our plan is. If we don't have the right people to deal with, the right situations to deal with, you know, or at any given place and time, then what's a new beginning for? You know,
Yes. Yes.
it's always related to something, some way,
So,
somehow.
and I've said it is not. It is. It's as my mom or moms. We take wisdom from our moms. She's always said, "Thy will be done. Be humble, and of course, there's a difference between being good and nice."
Yes. So deep
I think
between
what I
good
love
and
about
nice.
I think what I love about what Ate Sonia said is like every time there's a new contract, she's gonna be like, okay, they're gonna know who I am again. It's like a new community, and it's like magpapakilala. Ate Sonia,
I'm
come
here.
on.
Yes.
I'm here. Diba?
I,
Let's bring it on. Ooh.
I love that. Okay, Ate Sonia. So Miss Kim and Miss Lee, how about you? I mean, what examples can you give us in terms of
Uh,
Like fear, how you fear new beginnings.
for me, when I moved here in the United States, like English wasn't our first language, so it was really scary for me. But knowing that I have to stay here and I need to commit myself that this will be my new life, my new beginning when I moved here. So I have to be really persevere my finding a work like the work that I really want or I really like just to survive, but at the same time being committed to like this new beginning that I know I should survive and I should overcome this fear of um even though I don't really speak the language well when I first came here. I remember talking to somebody when someone asked me about like he this white person, and he was talking to me in English. I was like, and then I started stuttering,
Yeah.
and but then I still like try to I still committed to that conversation that I'm gonna finish this conversation. I'm gonna talk to this person, but and turns out, I mean, it turns out to be fine at the end of the day. But just having that commitment on a new beginning and trying to be determined on being successful and overcoming that fear of whatever situation I'll be in is yeah.
also, I love what Kim said, commitment and determined. So
It's
commitment and
what
determination
to
goes
be.
hand in hand. And look at where she is now. She's very successful. She's happily married. And I'm so happy for you, Kim. Thank you so much for sharing that to us. Just so you know, that your fear is also the same fear as we had. But then again, now we are a community. We face our
Yeah.
fears and hopefully we get to help others face their fear as well. So now our supermodel, Miss Lee, please give us some examples.
What makes you scared, you said, or like what makes you scared to start a new beginning? Like I always like just like think of improv, like when you say that, like when I was taking improv classes, it was like just so nerve-wracking because there's no script. You're not going to be prepared for it. You're not going to study for it. You're just going to have to be open to play and just live in the moment so that you can be aware of what's going on and happening to you. And sometimes that's just like that unpreparedness of not knowing how a scene is going to play out because you're doing an improv scene is super scary because you're not rehearsed, you're not doing anything. So like what I found to be helpful was just, just stay in the present, be aware of what's going on, listen to what your like the people that you're doing playing improv with are saying and doing, so that you can come up with just this game and just be like a kid and be willing to play and bask and be grateful for the opportunity that you're able to play with these people and create something that's artful and hopefully funny and makes sense.
I love it. Lee can always put everything again into perspective. So I want to read what Edward said. Edward said, being out of your comfort zone is nerve-wracking, but it's definitely worth the try. You discover new things and unfold your other hidden abilities through taking risks. After all, life is a gamble. So I want to ask, I actually love that, Edward. Thank you so much for sharing that. Why do you, here, if I could rephrase that, how do you think that part of taking risks or starting a new beginning is some way somehow connect to is connected to you gambling the situation or the event taking place? Well, for me, I think every new beginning or every new start, even the moment we wake up in the morning, is already a gamble, because we don't know what we can expect out of that day. Regardless how much we prepare for it, we don't know what will come our way. But learning from everything that you've said about what Lee said about being open, and what Miss Kim said about having, the inspiration, and what Angel also said about, turning your insecurities into educating yourself, and as well as Ate Sonia, knowing the value of knowing your core. I mean, as long as you know those things, then yes, it may be a gamble, but you do have the right ingredients or the right tools or the right shields to prepare you for what is ahead or for what's about to come. So what do you think?
I agree that it's a gamble. But the only difference is, unlike in gambling, it's kind of just like winning or losing. Sometimes the gamble that we take might just mean it will go this way or it might go that way. So it could be a win-win, depending on which route you want to go. So for example, like starting a new beginning of choosing, for example, when I was like, let's say full-time in nursing, and then I was enticed by the entertainment industry and kind of like have this new beginning, and it's like so nerve-wracking, and like to start it and to see to try to go to auditions and to go to classes and kind of to push myself to go that way. I think that was a gamble because I'm kind of having lessened like, let's say, time on this end, and then it will kind of be more on this side. But is it like a win or lose? Not really, because I think if I chose to go on the path of nursing at that time, then it would still be a win as long as I'm like kind of like heading towards career advancement there. But choosing to kind of pursue acting at that time, it actually helped me become more confident, which in the end, it actually helped me apply it in my nursing career, which actually made my nursing career better as well. So I think, yes, it's a gamble because you don't know what the outcome will be, but sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean that if you gamble, it's either a win or lose. It could be a win-win situation regardless of which choice you make for that new beginning, if that makes sense.
That actually totally makes sense, Angel. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that insight. And Kim, how about you? And Lee?
Kim?
For me, yeah. So it's similar to gamble because the higher you gamble, or the higher the
Risk.
reward that
Okay.
you're trying to reach, or and the higher the risk that you will take. So it is because when I took a risk of, like, for me, like based on my experience before, I took a risk of um relocating myself to a different city and trying to be, and I wanted to become a in the purchasing department, or as a buyer for hotels and resorts. And um I really don't know what I'm really getting to be in that position before. And so I left everything here in Los Angeles. Even my relationship, I was like, no, I really want to do it. But then when I got there, I never thought it would be, I thought at first, like, yeah, it'll be easy, but it didn't turn out to be easy. It was a lot of hard work, because, and I never thought I would really risk a lot of things. But after that, like, learning all of that, I mean, I've learned a lot. And the it was I can say it was really worth it, because it was like an experiment for me. So it was like a new beginning experiment for me to, like, know my limits, know, like, how far I could go to and doing that buying. But at the same time, I've learned in a way, along the way, that my like, I come to a realization that there's something more valuable to me here in Los Angeles, instead of just pursuing something else in another city. So yeah, so it's about learning, about experimenting, and also learning how far are my limitations are.
Oh, that's nice.
I super love what you said about she basically knew her limits, and she also was able to realize what's more important.
Yeah.
I love that, Kim. Yes. How about you, Miss Lee? What's your insight?
That's like kind of tricky question to answer, because, like, again, like, I guess the answer would change depending on where I am in my life right now. But then, like, I feel like when you're gambling, like, like, I feel like when you're gambling, there's chances that you kind of take, and then there's probabilities, especially if, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna typecast myself in my Asian role, like especially when I play mahjong. Mahjong is a game that my family plays, and, like, there's a probability, like, you kind of calculate sometimes in your head when you're gambling. But sometimes when you do new beginnings, like, and especially if it's like, it depends on your new beginning. If it's something that you planned ahead, then maybe. But if it's something that's totally, like, unplanned of, and you just have to start because it's forced on you by whatever fortuitous event or powers that created you, for you to have to start that circumstance that you're going to have to start. Especially when I transitioned, I didn't plan it. It had to happen. Was I gambling? No, I feel like during that time I was being honest with myself. If that's a gamble, if you consider that a gamble, then maybe. But, like, it just really depends. Like, there are things that might be gambles because you're taking chances, but there are things that you just have to do so that you can live. And I don't know if that's a gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the great thing about new beginnings as well, is that it can actually be in so many ways. It can actually be in so many meanings, but it's also connected for me if you actually see it, taking your new beginning as, like, seeing the glass half full or half empty, and which boils down again to your attitude into your new undertaking. So I actually love what Edward said. Also, actually, Edward made a comment. Edward said, Angel definitely knows how to play her cards right. So,
Thank you.
and actually, if I could actually just comment on that, and also what Lee commented, I think sometimes trying new things that sometimes we're not so familiar with, or also doing something that we think is best for us, at the end of the day, new beginnings is really doing what you think is best for you. Because why are you starting a new beginning? Because you know what? Perhaps the old did not work, and that's the reason why I need to start anew. So if something did not work for me in the old, then I need to start something new. Because perhaps if I start something new, then I will find myself even more. I will discover myself even more, and I will be able to realize my full potential as a person. And that's my take on that.
Yes.
Yes, debate team. Here, here.
So now
Ate
I want to
Sonia.
ask. So now I want to ask, what is the beauty of starting a new beginning? Who would like to start on that? You know, like Easter is a new beginning. God is risen. I mean, okay, if I could start on that, you know, the beauty of a new beginning is, you know, it's like you when you wake up in the morning. It's like when you open your eyes. That already opens you to the possibilities that you have for the day ahead. You know, I mean, why is it that there's night and why is it that there's morning? You know what? So that whatever happened during this day that did not work, you can sleep it over, and when you wake up, you are given a new beginning. So for me, that's my take on that. That's the beauty of new beginning. It's always a fresh start. It's always another opportunity for you to show that, you know what, I can do this. And I'm given another chance, another day, another morning to be able to make a difference. But it's up to you if you want to make a difference or not. And that's the reason why for me, new beginning is beautiful. And that's the beauty of new beginning. Angel, Ate Sonia, Kim, and Lee, what's the beauty of new beginning?
I'd like
Lee, go ahead.
No, I'd like to just like answer that, like getting a new eye makeup palette, for instance. Like you're going to be super excited to try what colors, like what's going to be your transition color, your highlight color, your contour color, what stuff that you want to put together so you can blend, so that you can create something that would make you satisfied and make you happy and make you comfortable to face the day with a smile, and also to like bring maybe joy and happiness with your life because that's what you're feeling right now. So I think like those are new beginnings. It's like a like a what do you call this, a different artistry of colors that's presented to you, and it's up to you to be able to mix and match them so that you can create something that's beautiful for you, and hopefully you can share that with the rest of the world.
Oh, Lee!
Literally beautiful.
Lee, you know, when you talk about makeup, it just touches my heart. And you putting your, of course, like super intellectual point of view on it even makes it more beautiful. In connection to that, I actually would just like to connect what Vela Makeup Artistry said. She said, new beginning is another chance to make everything beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? I'm sure she's an amazing makeup artist. So thank you, Vela, for that. So again, Kim, Ate Sonia, and Angel, the beauty of new beginnings. Thank you, Lee. I love that. Anything about makeup I get excited about.
Yes. Ooh, okay. My pick on that. Yeah. Oh, Vela. Thank you, Vela. Vela. Yeah, I know her. Vela. Thank you, Vela. And of course, my take on that, as we are talking about colors, I will take on what Samantha Jones thought in Sex and the City. In her box of crayons, I will take every crayon and I will color my life. I will use each crayon, each color to color my life for new beginnings. And I am applying that. A box of crayons.
Oh, I love that.
Diba?
From makeup to crayons. So
Crayons?
who can top that? Who can add more to that? Okay, Kim and Angel, how can you add to makeup and crayons? Okay, that's amazing.
Kim is
or
on
Angel?
pause, so I guess I will have to go.
For me.
I think Kim is having like internet connections today. And to add to Ate Sonia, it's actually like even coloring outside the lines. That's what.
Yes.
But for me, the beauty of new beginnings, Like in the transgender community, we use the butterfly a lot because we kind of like turn from a caterpillar to like growing our own wings, so that it's time to spread your wings and prepare to fly, because you will become a butterfly. Whoa. Spread your wings and fly, butterfly. Oh,
Oh
diba?
my gosh, I love that. Look at that. From makeup to crayons to being a caterpillar and a butterfly. And now, Miss Kim, our beautiful butterfly, what is your input about the beauty of new beginnings?
Oh my gosh. How can I add to that? Everyone just said it all. But probably it's for me, my take on that is being inspired to do something new, to do something like what Miss Bella Makeup said, like something more beautiful for new beginnings. So just being inspired of like being more creative or being more doing something better. Like you try to make things much better and better each day.
And you know what I
It's
actually
also beautiful inside, diba? Oh,
You know-
so that topped it all, actually.
and in connection to what you said, Angel, that's actually what I love about Miss Kim is whenever you get to talk to her, whenever you get to spend time with her, you experience a new beginning because her aura, her heart, her mind is so full of pureness. Pureness in the sense that there's not one thing about her that's negative. There's not one thing about her that's not good. And that's the reason why we're so happy to have her here and so honored for her
Oh,
sharing this with us, new beginnings, because
Yes.
she really is an example of what pureness is, of what grace is. And thank you so much for that, Miss.
Yeah, and
Miss
thank you for
Kim.
being here for the new beginning of joining us here. So I hope you're able to like guest every time, every time somebody's not
Oh,
able to
thank you.
come. So thank you for your freshness and new beginning, as what Ali is saying. It's just like a bunch of freshness.
And I
Yes.
also would like to read what Edward said. Edward again is an amazing singer. He's in the
Yes.
Philippines, and he said, "Beauty of a new beginning is the feeling of excitement, getting inspired, and the opportunity to grow, discover, and know yourself even more." So, of
Yeah.
course, as we always experience new beginnings, we get to know ourselves even more. So now, what I would like to ask is, so since we basically much know ourselves, we've aged hopefully gracefully. What advice or final words or wisdom you can impart on our audience in regards to new beginnings? So who would like to start?
I think new beginnings is part of life, so accept it and be excited about it. And I'm excited every time everyone is given an opportunity for new beginnings.
Yeah.
For me, oh sorry.
Go ahead, Kim.
For me, it's so yeah, like exciting. Like three things. This is what I've learned from someone. Like one, you do a self audit, like what's working and what's not working. And the number two is make a list of your whatever inspiration, whatever things that inspires you, and our ideas that inspires you. Make a list and pick one and just take a step on doing it. Number three is taking a commitment and doing an action to it, because even though you have so much inspiration in your mind, it will not happen until you do an action to it.
Aww. So assess,
Oh,
make a list, and act on it.
I
Yes.
love that.
Yes. Trust your guts, because yeah.
Thank you for that, Miss Kim. How about you, Miss Sonia and Miss Lee?
For me, yes, follow your gut because new beginnings are blessings. And life is what you do not expect, but of course, you just have to face your giants, face the giants in your life. And that's very important. And with that, facing your giants in life, facing the giants in your life and conquering it and doing what you think that will be good for you. And there will be no problem.
Oh.
Oh, thank you,
What
Miss
if Lee is the
Sonia.
giant in your life, being 5'10"?
Miss Lee.
What can I say about new beginnings? We're all like just a minute part of a huge universe. So basically, we're not going through new beginnings by ourselves. There's other people that are also going through new beginnings. There's also other life forms that are going through new beginnings. So accept it and be grateful that it's happening, and also try to have a community that you can uplift so that you all can create that little tiny change that the world needs so that it can become a beautiful world.
Oh, I love that, Miss Lee. Thank you. And if I could say, new beginnings. Don't stop until your time is up. Create the life that you want, and don't forget to share the legacy that you want to live in this world. Happy new beginnings. Happy Easter, everyone.
Hey, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
So now
And
we want to say
promotion. Yeah.
promotions. Exactly, Angel.
So thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment on Transistors TV. My social media is Angel Qinan. If you haven't followed me, Instagram is probably the most active one, although not much lately. But thank you very much for watching. And next week, I think we're gonna be back on our regular time slot. Thank you for adjusting to our schedule for tonight. And happy Easter, everyone. And who's next?
Hi, everyone.
Yes,
My name is AllyCat. Oh, go ahead. Sonia, go ahead.
Oh yes, as I've said, in my Japanese, it's sakura time in Japan. It's hanami. It's cherry blossoms. So it's the start. As I said, this is short. Sakura means it is bloom, smile and laugh, and springtime. It's time for renewal. So Sonia, the only one. I'm in Instagram, and my Facebook is also Sonia Agbayani, and it's time for renewal. Happy Easter, everybody, and I love you, Miss Kim. Thank you.
Thank
Angel.
you, Miss
And of
Sonia.
course,
Oh my gosh, our celebrity
Transistor
family.
TV is a new beginning for me. Transistor
Yeah.
TV is a new
Oh, yeah.
beginning. Viva!
I know that's
Honestly.
true. Oh, I love you, Ate Sonia. And Miss Kim, Miss Lee. Oh my gosh. Ate Sonia, you always know how to make us smile.
I'm Kim Chan. Kim's Realm on Instagram. Happy Easter, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm really, really grateful and thankful for being here. But yes, so yes, follow and like Transistors TV.
Oh, thank you, Kim. Miss Lee.
Hi, Lee065 on Instagram. Miss Jarly Talks on YouTube. Kim does candles. They're called Blessed by an Angel. Please support those her candle making business. They have she has one of the most beautiful smelling candles. I always use it. It's lovely. And then their intention candles as well. Made for Love is out now on HBO Max. It's a show that I worked on, and there's 3 episodes that are out, and it's so fun. I'm super proud of that project, and I'm super proud of everybody that was a part of that, especially the creators, Alyssa Nutting, Christina Lee, Dara, and Janet. Congratulations.
Oh, love you, Lee. Congratulations.
Congrats.
And again, speaking of new beginnings, again, my name is AllyCat Castle. If you watch AllyCat Castle on YouTube, it's always a new beginning. I'm always unboxing and bagging something new. So please support me as well at AllyCat Castle, where I do skincare, makeup, and fragrance reviews. And back to you, Angel. And thank you so much for supporting Transistors TV and supporting women of trans experience, as well as proud transgender women of color, all the way from the Philippines. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. If you're just tuning in, we actually started an hour earlier tonight. So please feel free to like watch the whole episode after we finish. I'm sorry we had a family emergency, so that's why but next week we'll be back on the regular time. And for those who adjusted their time schedules tonight and joined us, thank you very much, everybody who has been with us on this live stream. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share with everybody. And I hope to see you guys next week. Bye.
Happy Easter!
Happy Easter!
Love you!
Miss Lee